And we're back. Thanks for bearing with us for that technical difficulty. But everybody can rest at ease knowing that Rob, once again, his dulcet tones, coming to us uninterrupted as our three boys, our musketeers, our three musketeers, one might say, head once more into a den of evil as they search for the man, truly responsible for the death of Captain Corbeau. For, as we all recall, just 2 minutes ago, his assassin revealed who his boss was, with no struggle and no anticipation at all. The best type of story structure. So he gave you a location deep in the warehouse district of Charus, deep into the realm of the nouveau money, where the middle class are hip hopping their way to the top. At this very moment, and I don't know how to describe three fellows coming up on a warehouse. Who knows? But either way, as you guys go through it's nighttime. It's been a while. You've had to get all your ducks in a row, but it's the early evening as you arrive on this particular warehouse. It's called Noir and Company, Shipping and Handling. But in French. From what information you guys have been able to gather on this place, it's owned by a wealthy yet mysterious nobleman who handles all his business through proxies. If anything, you guys should have known this would have been evil there a long time ago, but and there has been some reports of suspicious activity, but nothing until now has really hasn't really been a problem until now. Because there's nothing violent, but here we are now, with a much bigger situation on our hands, I suppose. So this won't require a approach, because you guys can just get in there, but but how do you guys enter this particular warehouse? Do you kick the doors in, or do you swoop in on the roof like Batman?
There's only 3 of us, and it's a big warehouse, right?
Yeah, it's fairly big. But as you patrol around it, there are a few lights on, but it doesn't like to be very hopping at this time of night.
I believe our best choice would be stealth, just in case there's a couple hundred people hiding inside of it.
The entire Castilian army.
Even just a brute squad of peasants would be able to take the 3 of us out.
It's the old let your assassin get trapped to lead them into another trap ploy.
So I'm a little unsure about how the role of the musketeers works. Could we just round up the city guard and have them help us out?
Yeah, pretty much. You guys are.
Okay. Well, maybe we should do that since we're doing official business and we've got reason to suspect that there's some dodgy stuff going on in here. And perhaps most importantly, I have no ranks in stealth.
The real question is, can we trust the city guard? Because they're mostly peasants.
Whoa. Yeah, that's a good point.
Why so
Ah.
outraged?
Yeah, I mean, like, we may not have a whole lot of choice, though, is what I'm saying. I mean, if you want to go ahead and try stealthing in there, or try to sneak in there, Laverne can go ahead and be, uh, rounding up some help.
Oh no, in truth, I'd
Whether
like to open the door with a
other
cannon, but
musketeers
I
or
don't think it's the advisable choice.
yeah. But I can go ahead and be getting some help, whether it be other musketeers or a city guard or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, it would make sense for other musketeers to be helping you out, I think. Since these guys did kill the captain of the musketeers.
Yeah, I imagine word of this is probably spread by now, right?
Yeah, it's
Summons the gendarmes.
I mean, if we have maybe 12 of us, I think we can go in.
yeah, no problem. With 12 guys, you managed to round up and get this warehouse surrounded. And yeah, from all sides it seems pretty quiet. So eventually, one guy manages to open up that door and head in. And egad, this place, it appears to be recently abandoned. But let's give a description of this warehouse. Apparently, Noir and Company are in the business of shipping gunpowder and other such explosives around, because there's a good amount of barrels of that inside this very warehouse. And this is actually where I'm gonna ask for everybody to make a notice risk for me. With whatever attribute you want. If you want to resolve yourself to notice something.
I do.
Or if you get very angry and you smash your hand through a table and it reveals a hidden passage, so you use bronze notice. That would be funny. Alright, that's...
Could I automatically fail it for a hero point?
Absolutely. Why is Laverne...
I will do so.
What's the tragic mistake Laverne makes in here?
Well, she's probably looking around very intently at everything, maybe hunting for a secret door or something, and then she turns right around and runs right into a pole.
All right. Is she nearsighted? What's up?
No, man, she was just really focused on it, and she couldn't see the forest because all the trees are in the way.
Ah, yes, of course.
Actually, I guess it's the opposite of that, but you get my meaning.
I do, yes. Alright, that looks like 3 races for Lancelin.
Yep.
And 3 races for Rob. Hey! Way to go, everybody. Alright, so, how to synchronize this information. I'll just give it to you. Lancelin, you notice as you're a troop kind of guy, you've got 3 warfare. This is the type of thing you notice as you look around the place. You notice a good amount of it's been converted to living quarters and such. So
This doesn't look like a warehouse. This looks like a barracks.
Yeah, there's about 30 or so people could live here uncomfortably. And over yonder, there's many racks of weapons, as well as bullets and, as I stated earlier, lots of gunpowder to fill those up with.
no fuses sticking out of any of the barrels of gunpowder.
No fuses, no.
Okay.
And then finally, Lancelin notices that there's also with what room is left. There's actually a few printing presses, and
any pieces of paper conveniently lying on the ground nearby.
oh, but of course, lots of stacks of flyers which haven't been handed out yet, but looks like they're ready to, and it shows the figure of Vox Populi, who you guys have heard legend of. And from the black and white painting, it looks like a dude in a white suit with a bird's mask on, like a really long beak, you know, that type of thing. And he has a cane. He's kind of standing triumphantly over a burning building of some type, and it's basically like, people of Montaigne, the Vox Populi has given you a chance to get off your knees. Which Bill's old for things. Eat the rich.
I will hand this sheet to the shooter and spend a raise to create an opportunity for him. Do you recognize this building?
Oh, but of course.
And okay, shooter will try and capitalize on that raise.
The shooter does indeed recognize this building. It's a little hard to tell with all the black and white ink, but the arches are very distinct. That is actually from the Cathedral de Lyon, which is the largest cathedral in Charus. And
Mon Dieu, it is the cathedral.
And now that you think about it, you could have sworn that you heard there's going to be a big ball of some sort tonight.
Dun dun dun.
Because yeah, what's the backstory on there? How does the shooter know so much about the cathedral?
We don't know.
His small apartment is actually located across the square from the cathedral.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, then he knows absolutely that this is actually the 50-year anniversary of Le Emperor ordering its construction. He, as the Emperor, he needed to be in the most fabulous church in all of Thea, so he had this constructed for him 50 years ago. And, you know, just recently he kicked out the whole Vatican church. So he's basically converted it into a giant
to a ballroom.
Yeah, giant fancy ballroom. So a bunch of nobles and everything will in fact be partying there tonight.
This must be their foul plan.
Can you say foul as in FOWL because of the bird mask?
Nice.
And yeah, the other musketeers kind of gather around you and like, oh, what? They're gonna blow up the cathedral. We can't let that happen. And of course, as you
quickly grab spare weapons, and they've supplied us with spare weapons. Let us to arms. Must intercept this.
Of course, but then you notice the building's starting to get really, really warm. And there's a crackling sound from the roof. And if you look out the window, you can see, you know, shambly-looking men throwing torches on top of the building. It's on fire. So let's get some new approaches up on this This hot dog.
Quickly, comrades, we must away.
Lancelin will blankly look at the main door momentarily. Did no one stay outside to keep the door open?
And
Who needs doors? Musketeers.
And all
And they
9
all
dudes
start,
thought,
like,
oh, I
leaping
thought
through the
Pierre
windows.
was gonna do it. Pierre looked shocked
So what
and
was-
said, no one told me.
You know what? Warfare and wits. I want to look at the barrels of gunpowder there.
Mhm.
See if any of them are small enough that we could just use them to blow the doors wide open.
Oh, naturally,
Or,
of
or
course.
a wall.
Yeah.
They could be expecting us to come out the door, blast a hole in the wall.
All right, roll for that.
Nice.
And what a roll it
Let's
was.
see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Alrighty, Lancelin's got 4, and I'll detail the risks and consequences for that in just a second. For the explosion. Let's go to Laverne.
Actually, hold on. I forgot I have Academy, so all those get a +1.
I
That's
just
1,
realized
2,
that I've been muted this whole time.
3.
Well, and I think you had 5 there to start with.
Let's
All right,
see.
Chris, what's up?
All right, what's your
Yeah,
what's
that's
your
5.
approach? There's gonna be 2 brute squads of 5 that you guys are gonna be dealing with. The other musketeers are, of course, bravely taking on their share of the other guys, but 2 groups of 5 are what's left for you guys.
I see. I see.
How's Laverne going to get out of this building and start taking apart these?
Well, I imagine she'll leap through an perfectly open window
Right.
and just start hacking away at them.
So a finesse weaponry.
Finesse weapon sounds pretty good. Yeah. I'm looking at my skills, seeing if anything else might be appropriate. Nothing's really jumping out at me, so we'll go with that. Okay, let's see here. That's I'm counting 3 successes there.
That's our duelist. Spectacular. All right, we'll get to that. And finally, what's the less shooter going to be doing?
Shooter will draw his brace of pistols and try and pick out the leadery looking ones of the brutes and try and reduce their effectiveness.
All right, let's see you make good on that talk.
So thinking wits aim maybe.
All right, that sounds good to me. Yeah, for sure. And that bonus dice from your Deadeye ability, right?
Oh no, that was for the first time using aim and wit.
Oh, well, don't forget you're a Deadeye, so you actually get a bonus die.
That's right.
It's like you're made to shoot people.
like 3.
Yeah, that's very sad. Okie doke. So it's 5, 3, 3, and then two brute squads going right after you. Alrighty, so for everybody, it's going to be one race to get out of the building. Then after that, Lancelin wants to refresh me.
I was going to use a barrel of gunpowder to blow open the main doors. And if I can toss a raise or two on it to make sure the explosion knocks out some of the brute squad. The shrapnel from the door.
Okie doke. I will say that's 2 raises, and if you blow that door open, everybody else doesn't have to use a raise to get out of the building.
Alright, then yeah.
But
So
it's
3
going
raises
to,
total?
Yeah. It's gonna cause I guess if you want to use the rest of your raises, we could put that towards damaging the brute squad as well.
Alright, let's do that then. All 5 of them.
Alrighty, so that'd be 3, but you know, just to give us a
So
risk reward vibe to it, it'll also damage your fellow players if you do that. I won't tell you how much though.
Well, explosions are what I do.
Alrighty. So for a grand total of 5, all 5 of your raises, Lancelin gets a barrel of gunpowder, throws in front of the main door, and lights it, blowing open a sizable hole in the warehouse door, and spraying these brutes for 3 wounds. Making some people very unhappy, and also hurting all of our musketeers for 1 wound. Because they didn't have a wall of splinters flying at them. And with that, Lancelin throws a hand up in the air, gives a dramatic bow, and lets everybody else fight.
I'll make a flourish to the open door.
Perfect. And so Laverne, your pathway is unobstructed, and you can begin taking apart these brutes.
All right. Well, unobstructed, huh? So it won't take any races?
Correct.
Excellent. I'll go out there and start slicing and dicing then.
Okie doke. So it shall be a raise for a wound, I suppose.
She's probably got a sword in one hand and like a handkerchief in the other to like cover her bleeding nose.
Naturally. Are you attacking the group of 5 or the group of 2?
How does the system treat brute squads? Does a group of 2 act like it's at full strength?
Kind
of like how in D&D
does 2 damage, and a group of 5 would do 5 damage.
Gotcha. I'll say I'll attack the group of 5.
Okay. So you deal a mighty 1 wound to them. Because they take damage differently from normal folk like you and I. And just because it's a strength 5 doesn't mean it's like 5 people. It's, you know, it's a mob of folk that Laverne is very handily disemboweling with such grace. It's beautiful. And Rob, you're gonna start shooting the officers, right?
Thematically, yeah. Kicking in the fish in a barrel. advantage mechanically.
Yes, excellent. For those playing at home, what does that do?
Well, Bob, Fish in a Barrel says your hero must have the Deadeye advantage in order to purchase this advantage when you make an aim risk using a pistol, blunderbuss, or thrown weapon such as knife or axe. Spend a raise to reduce the strength of a brute squad by your ranks in finesse.
And how many ranks do you have?
3 ranks.
No. Very good. So, perfect. So you can very easily recognize the officers of this brigade because they also have masks on, but they're like Robin masks, and they've got tiny beaks on them.
Oh, different Robin.
That's awesome.
So are you taking out the little squad or the bigger one?
Let's go ahead and finish off the.
Sweet, sweet. So yeah, you take out these guys, leader, and they go, oh hell no, and they get out of there. They're not having this anymore. They were promised a party, and now now people are dying. But one squad remains firm. They shall deal 4 wounds to Laverne as though she's flourishing and taking out a great many of them.
Dang.
They're kind of giving her a run for her money. Speaking of Laverne, it's back up to you.
All right. So, do I take a dramatic wound or just 1 wound, or 5 wounds?
You took 1 wound already, and then you take 4 more, which will take you up to a dramatic wound.
All right then. Thank you. Okay. So that means my next action should deal bonus damage, right?
When you roll your next risk, you're gonna roll 2 extra dice.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Because you're not really wounded, but the situation was like, I can't play around anymore. I have to get serious.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just keep on keeping on.
Alrighty. So you take these guys down to 3, and I believe Late Shooter is going to finish things offhandedly.
Indeed, he will.
Dude, who's typing?
Sorry, I need to mute it when I'm not talking.
Appreciate it, man.
Man, you can do that every round. That's awesome. You're welcome for giving you that. I thought ahead very well. I'm a boss. Anyway, yeah, and Left Shooter takes out the other officer and breaks up this mob as it looks like your fellow musketeers are doing a fine job as well as they fight off what's left of it. And of course, you guys, take that handkerchief, wipe off your face, come out of the warehouse, and you go, well, boys, looks like our work's done here. And then the warehouse explodes behind you as there's quite a bit of gunpowder left in there. Now, someone give us our one-liner for going in to save the masquerade from utter destruction.
Well, that was an explosive situation.
It's time for some bird hunting.
I'll go ahead and give Jared the hero point for that one.
And I'm gonna go ahead and spend it for Joie de Vivre. So going into this next one, all dice equal or under our skills count as 10s.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Lanceland's a pretty good commander. But of course, Richard. But of course, we shall hold momentarily. Man, we have been blitzing through this one shot. I expected you guys to be dumb, but you guys are actually picked up on it very quickly. Or have played before, so. Now I know I can just cram a whole bunch of stuff in our next session.
Now, I'm still sort of rough with the mechanics, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, it's just weird because you don't roll to like do something. You just like roll to see how many things you successfully do.
Yeah, I've played other John Wick games, so.
Yeah, L5R is my favorite like RPG ever, but I played too much of it and I started playing this to.
Well,
try
I
something
have the
different.
big book of little games somewhere with all of his different ones, but
Ah.
not sure where it is anymore.
Let's see, I have this L5R and House of the Blooded, but the one for like Japanese games.
Yeah.
I think I actually have a copy of that somewhere. I think it was like one of the free RPG Day giveaways.
Nice.
It looked interesting. There are some games where I'm like, how would I do a campaign around this? And that was one of them.
I think
Yes, sir. Hello.
I was gonna say I think the better question is how do I get players for this?
That's too true. Just every day I just look at the AEG section of Roll20 to see if there's anything. And I'm always disappointed. But yes, at a swift and speedy pace, we can all get to our bedtimes on time. We head into the third act of this just quick and dirty session to get our feet wet. It is now well into the night, almost midnight, one might say, as our heroes and their musketeer comrades hop on horses and head off to the Cathedral de Lyon. The streets are crowded because why not, with peasants, celebrating the anniversary of this cathedral and everything such as that. This time in Montaigne, everything's going just fine. They haven't yet wasted all their resources on 2 different wars, and so everybody's feeling pretty good. Which is very evident as you approach the square where this cathedral stands, towering high above every building around it, including Rob Le Chuteur's dinky little apartment across the way. We look over to a small looking apartment with a pink flamingo outside the door.
Yard gnome.
Yeah, the gnome has a musket.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And this is where I introduce my greatest work in my entire life. Doa. It's a noir looking. Alright, it's stupid, I know, whatever. So, oh yeah, if anybody
It looks good for the people at home. It's like the steampunk cathedral thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, it's very high quality.
If anybody
It
can
also
tell me,
seems to have a clock for some reason.
if anybody can tell me what the bottom level, what that's supposed to be, I'll give them a hero point.
fountain?
It's supposed to be a curtain for a stage.
A curtain for a stage, yeah.
Yeah. You get nothing.
That's fine.
So for the people listening at home, it's it's sort of like if you imagine the Notre Dame with Big Ben stuck in it. That's what we're looking at.
This is true. Yeah. The cathedral itself has a clock tower, which will ring in approximately 10 minutes at the stroke of midnight. How ominous. From outside, you guys can hear the loud laughter and music of the ballroom within. And, yeah, our musketeers suddenly open up the door and stream in. Give us... The witching hour approaches, indeed. And the musketeers, you know. Give us what you say to all these happy-go-lucky noblemen who suddenly have to face consequences.
Alright, well, this will be a panache to convince them to go.
No, you don't have to. Everybody's going to be very happy to get out of the explosive-filled cathedral. I just want to hear what you say.
My lords and ladies, I'm afraid the ball is closed early due to a unstable situation. Please return to your homes.
Last call. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
And with that, on the main stage where the 36-piece string orchestra is, currently playing, there's a bright white puff of smoke. And dramatically, the man in the white suit appears, waving away the smoke as he coughs slightly. That was way thicker than he was expecting it to be. You recognize this man from the posters. He is indeed the Vox Populi, the voice of the people. He has that long beaked mask and flowing brown hair, and he has an expensive looking cane that he raises above his head to give his villainous monologue. He oh no, ladies and gentlemen. I'm afraid our party's far from over. And then you hear it. The sound of doors being shut and latched. As the doors of the cathedral do just as such. And then, of course, around the table, there's lots of, tables stacked with hors d'oeuvres and wine and food and all that on white tablecloths. Well, the waiters all around this room go over to it and very dramatically pull the tablecloth completely off the table. Nothing falls to the ground. They've been rehearsing this for weeks. And we see that these were no tables that all this food was resting on. Indeed, they were all barrels of black powder. And this masked man taps his cane on the floor and says, "Band, continue to play one last song, for these decadent nobles die at the stroke of midnight."
I'm going to activate my virtue, commanding. Means you both get a hero point for this scene.
Yay!
And I'm going to spend both of my hero points to give each of you 4 dice for this. Telling the shooter, take down that man, and Laverne, stop them by the barrels.
And that's why Lance Lynn's my favorite character. Okay, I'm gonna actually put up a turn clock because I don't want to ruin my my beautiful creation here. So the vibe for this scene is going to be our musketeers. This masked man is there's like a ladder heading up towards the second story, which is you know, all the clockwork for the tower. So at the end of the scene, he's going to go and be upstairs. And in the meantime, our guys are of course focused on taking him down, but also getting all the nobles out of the cathedral and disarming those bombs. And so in this thing, there will be our villain, the Vox Populi, as well as 2 more Strength 5 brute squads. So, if you'd like to start telling me your approaches, by all means. Oh, but first, let's remember to do this. Jared, what is one environmental thing that is worth noting?
The large fountain of wine.
Uh-huh.
I mean, like a huge artistic fountain of wine in the middle of the floor.
Beautiful.
I'd have
Richard,
gone with chocolate, but okay.
and Richard's is that there's also a chocolate fountain of wine on the other side. Or a,
No.
all right, what you got for me, dear Richard?
I'm going to say that there's lots of low-hanging chandeliers for people to swing from.
Of course there is.
Oh, and Shooter notices all the ropes and sandbag counterweights that go with your stage curtain there.
All right, so let's start hearing some whatchamacallums approaches.
I will be going wits and notice to look for people lighting fuses and attempting to throw wine onto every lit fuse to put it out.
Wonderful.
And remember, we have, if it is equal or less than your skill points, it counts as a 10.
Sweet.
So
It's 2.
that whole top row is
3.
all 10s. Actually, the reroll would do the 4, I suppose.
Yeah. So that's 3, 4, 5 successes.
5 successes for Lancelin. Laverne. I bet I know.
Well, the boss man said that I'm on bomb duty. So let's see here. I'm going to use I suppose maybe panache and weaponry.
And how are you being oh so charming with your weaponry? You know, I'm a fool for asking that because Montaigne's whole thing with their swordsmanship is that they don't shut up
Yeah.
whenever they duel.
Well, let me make sure that I understand the situation correctly. Like there are these huge kegs of gunpowder, right?
Yes.
And there are guys who are like standing guard next to them about to set them off, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Well then yeah, I guess I'd just grab a hold of a chandelier and swing over there and like well no, actually I'll toss my sword up in the air, run over, jump on a table, grab a chandelier, swing over there, land, catch the sword, and then start stabbing people.
Very
So,
charming.
panache and weaponry.
Okay.
Don't forget your +4 dice.
Thank you kindly.
And 3 of those are 10s. Those were some good bonus die.
So let's count here. Off the first row. That's
I see
3
7.
successes. Fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. I'm counting 8 successes. Do y'all count differently?
I'll believe you. It's gonna be
Excellent.
hard to beat 8. But lay shooter, let's see what we got.
Well, nothing terribly fancy for Shooter. Shooter's going to do what Shooter does. And so he will finesse aim.
Damn. Alright. I see 5.
That seems correct.
Hey, I will trade you one of those unused dice for a danger point. Or sorry, hero point, if you like.
Sure.
Sweet, sweet. So you get an extra hero point, and I get an extra danger point. So I'm up to 3. The shooter towing the party line by having 5 raises. And then Vox Populi is going to activate his virtue, which is glorious. So when he's the center of attention, all his dice count as raises. So I'd say him holding the entire cathedral. Hostage counts as that. He is a strength 10 villain, so he'd roll 10 dice. So he's going to have 10 raises.
Yikes.
He's a bad guy. Okie doke. So the consequences in this room, as they are at the moment, there are 5 kegs of explosive scattered around. The ballroom, each keg costs 1 simple raise to do away with. And then there are 3 groups of 15 or so noblemen. Extra die from the... Sure, man. Go ahead and roll that. Alright. And now you redo the math for if that gives you 9 or not.
All right, you go ahead and be doing your thing, and that while I look into this.
Okay. And then there are 3 groups of 15, which also requires just 1 raise to break them out of the cathedral and get them away. So you could do one and not worry about the other, or do whatever you want. So Measure Vox Populi has all the time in the world to get up to his second stage, so he's actually going to engage in combat with Lancelin, the old commander, obviously the brains of the operation, the truly dangerous man. So he's going to spend 1 raise to give Lancelin a slash, which will do 5 points of damage to you. And you've actually healed up that remaining point that happened last session, or not last session, last scene, because each scene you heal up any non-critical wounds. So you are actually at full health until now, where you just took a critical wound. Hello?
Yeah.
Did you get all that?
I was gonna say no.
Did I cut out?
A little bit. I think it was more on my end, though.
Alrighty, where was the, where did I stop making sense?
Honestly, we were about to start, and then I had a bunch of stuff pop up. Windows updates and shit. Sorry.
Alright, radical.
Is it on me already? As I said, I'm just holding on, waiting for possible lit fuses to throw wine on.
Alright, so I'll just re-explain the situation. So there are 5 kegs of 5 kegs of gunpowder that are scattered around the room. They take one race to get rid of, and then there's 3 groups of 15 noblemen that also take a race to get out of the room. Vox Populi is going to be attacking the musketeers along with 2 groups of waiters who are also going to be trying to stop them. Vox Populi got his cane, and on his first round he dealt 5 points of damage to you, Lancelin.
Oh, okay.
In this game, you heal every scene, so you didn't actually have any wounds going into this.
So now I have a dramatic wound, which gives what, 1 bonus die? I believe.
Gives you 2 bonus die.
Okay.
He didn't so much as hurt you, more you realize that you have to start putting effort into today's events. And then we go over to Laverne.
Yo.
What are you going to be doing?
Well, despite the fact that I'm built as a duelist and should probably be stabbing this dude, I'm on gunpowder duty.
Yes, sir.
So I guess I'll start. What?
You don't have to listen to me. That was more roleplay wise. Why you had the extra dice.
Well, but I'm a good musketeer, sir. I must follow the orders. I must respect my senior officers. So yeah, I'm on gunpowder duty. Probably gonna stab some dudes on my way. But in mechanical terms, I'll spend 1 to get rid of one of the gunpowder kegs.
Okey-doke. Leaving us with Whoa. What words just came out of my mouth? Leaving us with forecasts as, you know, you chop, you do a dramatic slice, and then the camera zooms in on the tip of your sword, and you have, like, the still burning wick at the tip of it.
Oh yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Alright, and, Lancelot, it's over to you.
Oh, real quick though, I don't suppose we have that brute squad with us, do we?
The other musketeers.
Yeah, sure, why not? I'll add them to the, You made the, role-playing decision to, involve them, so... I shall honor your, request. And there we go. Alrighty, now it's over to Lancelot, who just got majorly whacked with a cane. Oh, also, I'll just put this in there. It's 2 raises to reveal the identity of the Vox Populi.
Ooh, even better, since I had a plan anyway. I'm going to spend 3 raises this turn then.
Okay.
1 to create an opportunity for the shooter to shoot less Vox Populi by tossing this wine I'm holding in his face instead of using it to put out a wick. And we'll just spend 2 raises as well to knock his mask off with the ton when I throw it at him. Or earn whatever it is of wine from this fountain.
Sounds good.
So he has wine in his face and his mask goes flying.
Yeah, this mask was apparently made of sugar and and resin, because as the wine gets thrown in his face, yeah, it begins to melt, and you recognize this face. It is none other than Robert Corbeau, the captain of the Musketeers himself.
Gasp.
What?
They gasp.
What?
Wait, this wasn't the dude that was assassinated, right?
Oh, it was the dude who was
But it was.
assassinated.
Yes,
Oh.
somehow he didn't die.
What a dramatic turn of events, Le Shooter. It's your turn, and suddenly you see the face of your mentor across the room in your scope.
Shocked, but nevertheless, he must stop the villain. And so he will spend a raise to capitalize on the opportunity and a raise to take the shot.
Alrighty. With a dramatic gasp, the room fills with the sound of gunfire. The shooter delivers a righteous critical wound to Vox Populi. Our noble group of musketeers will hold off one of the group of waiters, doing a mighty wound to them. After which our waiters will reply in turn, giving a wound to the musketeers. And then the second group of musketeers will deliver 5 wounds to Le Shooter as he shot their boss. So, you know, it would make sense if they're holding all these noblemen as hostages to have like guns and swords and stuff, but they're obviously all using like very nice silverware and full bottles of wine brimming with expensive brands. So they come at you in a horde and, you know, overrun you. Alright, let me rearrange these orders real quick. Vox Populi, still at top. Laverne, going second. Le Shooter, taking the lead over Lancelin. Breach God. Excellent. Alright, so, the Vox Populi, after, getting his sugar mask melted and, you know, a bullet into his body. This is all me, cleverly disguising the fact that I'm reading what, maneuvers the duelist can do. Oh. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Anyway. The Vox Populi is actually going to,
One moment. Just noticed that Shooter's hubris is doomed. Activate your hubris when you take one or more dramatic wounds. You gain a hero point for each dramatic wound you just endured.
There we go.
Yeah, actually, so is mine.
Weird that you're both
I'll
doomed.
activate mine as well. Yeah, that's odd.
Oh well, I'm sure. Yeah, so go ahead and give yourself another dramatic wound. You should be sick of seeing those by now. Not dramatic wound, 0 point. So the Vox Populi, after getting his mask melted off, he's going to spend a grand total of 2 raises, dropping it down to 7, and he's going to do what's called applying pressure on Monsieur Lancelin. So basically what that means is he's going to spend 2 raises, and next time you want to do a move, I'll just do 1 raise, why not? Why be mean? Yeah, do 1 raise. So next time you want to do a move, it'll actually cost 2 points instead of 1. And this takes the form of him looking at you, taking a handkerchief, dabbing the wine off his face, and then giving you a mighty slap, which sends you spinning into the fountain of wine. And it goes to Laverne.
Sir. All right. So, can I spend like, what is it? 4 things of gunpowder left? Can I spend 4 raises to like run around and get all of them?
No, sir. It's
Okay.
gotta be 1 for each one, like rounds.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, can I spend 1 and then spend another point to attack someone as well?
Oh yeah, I'll allow that.
Excellent. Cool. Well, I imagine there's like this big table filled with all sorts of food, you know, on it, and she's just going to hop up on there, grab a tray, and surf down it, and then jump off the end, slash a dude in the throat, and then defuse the next powder keg.
Such panache. Alright, great. The unharmed waiters or the ones who have taken damage?
Whichever you think would be guarding the gunpowder.
Alright, we'll do the unharmed ones. Alrighty, then after Laverne, we go back to Le Shooter, who gave a critical wound.
Shooter knows he won't have time to reload the musket, so he just drops it and will, with one hand, grab one of the counterbalance rope things for the stage curtain and let it hoist him into the air. The other hand, he'll draw a pistol.
Very good. All right, so I'll take a race for that. And hey now, yeah, with a flourish, you rise above the peasants like a grand hawk, no longer in danger of the brute squad causing you any danger.
Oh, really? He was trying to get up where he could get a better shot at Vox Populi, but away from the danger is also good.
I'm just trying to think of a way to, incorporate that into the game. If you think of something, let me know. For the
Well,
moment,
is Vox not above us at this point?
no,
No, he is down on the ground.
Yeah, at the end of the round, he will do it. But for the moment, he's just, having a good time. If you want to change that with a fresh understanding of what's happening, by all means.
Oh, well, then maybe Shooter just uses the thing to hoist him up at Populi through the crowd. He shoots down at him from above.
Yeah, sure. Sure, no problem. Taking another Woundus Dramatici as we go to Lancelot.
Well, since Lancelot is currently in the wine fountain,
Have a drink.
I will spend my 2 raises to come sputtering up out of it. And how do you... Can you use it to keep his attention on me?
To taunt him? Yeah. You can reapply pressure right back to him. And...
That's what I'm going to do then.
Already? So, that's like
so
one
it's
raise.
2... Yeah, it'll be 1 raise worth. But Captain, I never took you for a traitor.
Oh,
Thought you would hold to your oaths.
That grinds his butter something fierce. And the waiters and the musketeers do battle, each of them taking a wound, and then with no one to turn to now, the waiters noir going to go ahead and attack Laverne, try and keep her off those sweet gunpowders.
Bring it. By the way, did they damage me last round? I can't remember.
No, they got Les Shooter.
Okay.
They're gonna do 4 wounds to you.